Well, hey there, Poppers. Brian here, and before I get into today's very special episode, I have a couple quick announcements. We are now sponsored by Zencastr and are a part of their new network, and you can now find us on the website on Podium. Exciting new things are coming for DMP Poppers, and I, for one, can't wait. Now, today's episode has a very special DM, Wesley from Thornvale, and the game is Monster Hearts, a game of monsters in school, and we have 3 very special students. So I think I have kept you in suspense enough, Poppers, so let's start the show.
Hello, everybody over at DMP. You might not recognize me by my voice unless you've been picking up Thornvale, which you should, by the way. I personally think it's a great show. But I'm also in it, so I'm biased. Anyway, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Wesley Bryan. I mainly work over on Thornvale and a few other podcasts periodically. You might see me in. I believe I am going to eventually show up in DMP myself, although I'm not there now at this point. Although by the time you hear this, I might be. And the impetus for this was what?
Well, you've been on DMP. You played
For the Face the Music. Right.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I was just thinking of like current campaign. The impetus for this was basically initially I had a world I wanted to try out, and then I realized it would work better as a setting for it, and then I realized that's going to take more time, but I have this group anyway, and let's just do something cool. So we're actually going to be playing through the Monster Hearts system, which if anyone has seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Vampire Diaries, any of those like teen meets monster, you'll have a very good idea of what this is going to be about, because that's basically what all the players are going to be tonight. They're going to be teenage monsters in some fashion or other. So that's the idea. And if everyone else is ready, we can kick this off.
Let's do this thing.
All right. Screen is black. It comes up in a far off distance of a town. You can't really see much. It's fairly flat. Not a lot on the outskirts of town, but you see there's this what looks like an old abandoned cave entry on the outskirts, and you see on the outside of it there's a sign, very old, very broken down, that says Blackstone coal mine is what it differentiates this is, because we have arrived in Blackstone, Arizona, and in this town, it was a booming mining town for years and years and years and years. But recently, I say recently, but this was about I'll say 20 to 30 years ago. There was a really bad disaster at the mine. They don't know what happened. There was some disaster, and it collapsed, and now like the town and like no one in the town will even really talk about it much. It's the place that no one ever goes, and the camera will pan past the mine entry and down through the town, and it's got all the necessary trappings of a regular old town. We've got the local grocery and the liquor store and the malt shop, very popular with the high school crowd, which includes you guys, because as the camera pans through the town, up on a hill overlooking the town a little bit, we see a very large house, kind of like a mansion. We're not sure what that is, but that's not important at the moment. But as the camera goes down the main street and takes sharp left, you see large brick building with sign Blackstone High School, and we will come into the homeroom of this high school, where the first bell is about to ring. Teacher, Mr. Nelson, is at the front, about to discuss the announcements and order of the day. And just to explain where everyone is located, you probably won't be able to see it on screen, but I can describe here. I have made a little diagram of the layout, and starting from the front, in the very front row on the far right side of these 3 desks, it's a 3 by about 5 rows, and we will come up on, I believe, his name is Earl. do you want to describe what Earl looks like?
Alrighty, so Earl is, we're in high school, let's say like a 16-year-old male. Very nice, not suit per se, but very nice clothing, but also very, very, very hillbilly-esque, if you will.
Okay.
He's very scarred, he's not overly muscular, but he's like, kind of like right there. He's not like skinny, but he's not big.
Okay. About mid. Got it.
Yeah, very, very gruff looking hair. Hair's not very important to him. Still looks good, but it is not kept by most people's standards. And that'll be Earl.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to go through main characters first and then intro some of these NPCs here. So in the second row, but in the middle, so straight on to the main front desk, but in the second row in the middle, we have, I believe it's Burt is his name. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Burt has a magnificently permed hair, but it is, it's a offset color magenta. He has his magenta eyeshadow and lipstick.
Cool. Okay.
His perfectly manicured, painted magenta nails. Right now, his cape has been taken off and it's draped over his chair. But he's got his legs crossed, and you can see one of his big old 12-inch platform shoes.
Okay.
He has his corset on, and the shortest pair of Daisy Dukes you would ever imagine.
Dear God, that's a pair of heels.
Yeah, and that's a sure sign this town is dying. They're allowing this dress code in the school, but all right.
I did have a side note to make. I just thought of Earl has a mullet. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, hard rock, hard rock hair. Got it. They're wow. The hair game on this crew sounds amazing. All right, and then yeah. So at the front of the school, at the front of the building, front of the room. Sorry, I'm saying three different words. Nelson is going on and on about, so as everyone remembers, we're not to enter the mine outside of town. We've had some accidents out there on occasion, people who don't follow the rules, and I think he glances kind of obviously at Burt, looking there at his very obvious, I'm sure, breaking of some kind of rule. As he goes on and on, it's sort of drowned out, and the camera moves to the far back of the room. Actually, at the very end of the row, opposite to Earl, we have, I believe it's Greta is her name. We want to hear more about her.
Yeah, Greta is kind of an outcast. She has almost maroon reddish hair it's bare minimum to look presentable. It's still sticking up in all directions, and she seems to be wearing a short sleeve hoodie that's military green over a similarly military green plain skirt. There's wrappings all around her arms that I think they seem like there might be tattoos or markings or something, but it's hard to tell. And there's similar wrappings around her legs and her military boots. And I feel like she's kind of hunched forward, and she's just watching the room. Her eyes are unwavering as she's just kind of looking forward, focused on the lessons and the people in the room. There's a skateboard upside down underneath her chair.
Okay. All right. We certainly got some characters here. All right. So, as we pan around, the camera will linger somewhat on three other members in this homeroom who are, if not as flamboyantly dressed as Burt, far behind. They are a bit very noticeable, but a bit at least somewhat less so, because these are Burt's gang, because you took the gang move, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And yeah, basically in this game, since he is the queen archetype, that means that he has these little worker ants that will gather gossip for him or find out information or pretty much almost any and all things that Burt will ask them to do, they will do. because obviously they think he's the coolest thing ever, which, I mean, let's be real. Anybody with the guts to wear that kind of outfit in a high school classroom, yeah, I mean, kind of.
It's got to be pretty badass if you can do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think slightly ahead of Burt in the lineup here, I think it's in the desk in front of him. Actually, there is. Or actually, no, it's right behind Burt. The next desk back. There's a character. She kind of a same age girl, very tall, flaming redhead. Like, seriously.
Firecrotch.
She's wearing like this sensible outfit, but then she's marked it out by, a couple pink accents. She's got a bracelet. She's got designer shoes, and this character, she is her name is Helen Markham. I'll just tell you right now, Brian. She really doesn't like your character. Okay, because I think before you showed up with your terribly flashy outfit and your entourage and everything, she was Queen Bee around here. She was Queen Bee, and then you just drop in from nowhere and steal her power, basically. So
the new queen comes in.
Yeah, she really does not like you. So I think
I like to think it was the day that Burt walked into the auditorium and went, "And then I'll show you the way." And everyone was just, "Oh my God."
Yeah. She's over there fuming in the corner. What the heck is he wearing? Yeah. Yeah, so she's just burning a hole in the back of your head during this whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as this is going on, I think not far from her, a little further away, there is this girl named Sasha. Now, Sasha, she's going to be pertinent to you, Burt, because she, I think, is your current love interest, right? She's tall, and she's got this sweeping black hair, and she's not so much into the look as you are, but she's got like the silver chains and she green eyes, and she's just like looking between the two of you like, ooh, there's something interesting here. She's just following it like it's some tabloid, right?
Okay, and what was her name?
Sasha Lowe.
Oh, okay. I know what my gang will be doing.
Yeah, and I think in the background, Greta is just still watching everything, but she's a little bit jumpy, and people around are just wondering, why is she so jumpy? It's just homeroom. It's boring and stupid. And then one other that we should mention here is right beside Helen in the row is Penny, and Penny is, think of it like she was basically Helen's errand girl when she was at the top.
Oh,
right. She was like one of her gang members if she had a gang at that time. But she's still like, she's this little mousy, sort of brown-haired, spectacles kind of girl, and she's just she's watching Helen and trying to follow her, because her pretty much her entire thing in high school has been, oh, she needs something. Well, I'll help. But it's not because she actually wants to. It's basically because Helen was like, I'm going to exert my more dominant personality over this person, and yeah. So it's, yeah.
Helen is just jealous that she doesn't have the ability to say, ready, pose, and then music all of a sudden starts playing and lights come on as she poses.
Maybe it is.
And Earl's just in the background like, how the fuck does this shit happen every time? Every damn time. I think we finally done figured it out, and every time it still fucking happens.
Yeah. I think, Earl, this will be a good time to talk about your one of your strings, because I'm going to talk about strings for everybody here, but let's start with you. I believe, related to one of your strings, you have someone that you supply, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I have an idea here, especially because of the playbook you're playing, which, does anyone, I mean, I know we're not necessarily, hiding the playbooks for any sort of big reveal. So players have any problem if I were to
Do it.
not for everybody, but at least for Earl? Because it would make sense.
Oh,
Yes, do it.
Okay.
do it.
So the right behind him in the row, is I've described some of these characters as being somewhat goth, like Sasha, right? She's got the silver chains and maybe a neck choker, but the girl who's sitting behind Earl, she is like 110% all in 24/7 365. She's got the eyeliner and the tattoos and the necklace and the seriously iridescent lipstick and the everything, right?
Damn.
And she is she might not be a match to you, Burt, but she's close because she her name is she can't have her name legally changed yet, but she goes by Sable is her card in the school. And yeah, she's the most goth you could possibly imagine. Okay?
You said Sable, right? Sable.
That is correct. Yes.
Perfect.
And I think this is the one that you're supplying, Earl. Okay?
Let me add the string in. Okay. So,
which gives you a string on her. Yeah, and I think what she is taking as a supply from you is she's always been fascinated by the whispers of the supernatural and what be out there, and she's not sure, but she thinks that there might be something about you, Earl. She doesn't know what it is. She can't place it. She knows it's there, so she has been trying to sort of get into your circle to figure out, am I just imagining things, or is it actually there? And so then what you have provided her are basically, of course, I know I am the runner, but if this doesn't make sense for your character, let me know. I think it does. Is that you were able to pick up on, because I think on your backstory or something is that you were able to tell what someone wants, right?
Yeah, it's so yeah, so I can supply someone, but it says anything that they want, whether it be intangible or physical. I'm like a mediator of sorts, and I can do like emotional stuff, and it doesn't just have to be something that you physically can get. I could be like an emotional drug dealer, if you will.
Well, I mean, I think it really does fit, because I think what you know about her is that she does have this deep-seated fascination with supernatural, but you realize that she'll follow you nearly anywhere to hear more about it. So I think you've been dropping her these tiny little subtleties of, oh, maybe you're right, maybe there is something. You haven't come out and said it.
So I'd like to think flavor wise, maybe little glimpses, but also I feel like Earl has he's able to control if he has horns or a tail.
Ooh, okay.
Perhaps, right? So
right.
maybe part of it is just flashing his horns for a second or flashing his tail for a second when he's around her.
Oh.
As a flavor thing to kind of, but also telling her, not telling her directly things, but little hints about things, and just kind of keeping her wanting to come back.
All right. Okay. All right. And I think as we pan around, we'll come back around to Greta, who's in the back. And Greta, I think you turn to your left as the speech is still going on, and you take a look at Penny, and I think kind of odd, maybe even a sad expression comes over your face, because I think you and Penny used to be good friends. I think you grew up together, elementary school wise, but then in high school, new social pecking order was established, and you were, you filled sort of the outcast, and Penny got sucked into being the errand girl for the currently lesser Queen Bee. And because of that, she's been basically keeping her kind of separate, because she's like, oh, well, yeah, I know you're, I'm just using you because but even so, you're associated with me, which means obviously you can't be associating with some, weird person like her anymore, right?
That makes sense.
And as it goes on, I think everybody receives a silent message on their phones, the whole class, and some people are looking, and some people are steadfastly ignoring it. Do you all check your phones and see what message this is?
I was going to say, Riff Raff is eagerly pulling my phone out for me and reading my message for me.
Ah, okay.
Yes, master, this is what your text message says.
Okay.
I think Earl's like, God damn it, who the fuck is ruining my education time?
God damn it, Earl.
As he's checking his phone, but he's very, very annoyed about getting a text message in the middle of class.
Okay.
Oh, and also Burt is telepathically sending a message to Columbia. He's commanding Columbia to send a paper ball at the back of Earl's head.
Okay. You took telepathy. Ooh.
Yep, the streaming. I am telepathically connected to all of my gang members.
To all your hive. Got it. Okay. I mean, honestly, they were aliens, so, I mean, who knows? They could have been.
Makes sense.
I really embraced what I based this bird off of.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay. So...
It works very well.
So, yeah, but what about Greta? Does she look at her phone? Because she gets this, too.
I think Greta discreetly moves her hand and glances down quickly.
Okay. And all of you read the following message. Hey, everyone. It's Helen. Hi. I know the weekend's coming up, and tomorrow night there's going to be this big party over at my house. My parents are out. Do pretty much whatever we want. Who's in?
So I think Earl kind of forgets that they're in the middle of class when he sees the word party. And so Earl's like, oh, hell yeah, I'm fucking down for a party.
Is he saying this in the middle of class or thinking it?
Yes. No, he is very loudly saying this.
Oh.
3 paper balls immediately hit you in the back of the head.
And I think Mr. Nelson, who's been talking with his back turned, he, at the same time, hears the paper ball hit and your very loud exclamation about a party. And he turns around. Oh, I'm sorry, does Earl have a last name?
His last name's Lightfoot.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I know he does. Sorry, I didn't have that written down. And yeah, I think he'll just turn around. He'll slam down the eraser, and he'll turn around. It's like, Mr. Lightfoot, and then he looks at Burt there in the middle. Burt.
Okay, so Burt is just gonna look over at Earl and go, "You fucking owe me." And then he looks at that teacher and goes, "Do you want a party? It's party time." And he just starts singing the song.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Return of the Living Dead, that's the song he's singing.
All right. Okay. I don't think your teacher has a very great appreciation for being interrupted in so fast succession by multiple people. And so then he points very emphatically outside. He's like, "You out now," and he points you like he's expecting you to get gone now.
Burt once again just looks at Earl as just be so much. Burt's like, "Fine, I'll let you enjoy the view as I leave my cape." And Riff Raff puts his cape on Burt, and Burt he takes his time as he slowly walks out.
Yeah, I think you.
What was the teacher's name again? I had it.
Nelson is his name, Mr. Nelson.
So I think Earl's gonna stand up and be like, "Mr. Nelson, this is unacceptable. I'm going with Burt."
And he kind of just waves a hand. He's like, "Fine, I was going to say anyway, go." And yeah, he's just gonna like banish you. This is only homeroom, so it's not gonna last for very much longer. But he is like, I was in the middle of talking, and you have interrupted me twice over. You're gone. And I think if Bert's doing the full model walk on the way out, like he's on the runway, right? I think like in the background, a couple of the other girls are like, you're hearing whistles. They're whispering, "Oh, so Houston, yeah." And then behind, in the middle of all this, you hear this very angry muttering, which Burt can pick up is obviously Helen being like, What is it that he has that I don't know?
Your misery is like snacks to me.
Earl does the Joe Dirt hair flip as he saunters out of the door.
Oh, he saunters. All right.
Oh yes. Earl does not give a shit. Earl is confident as hell in himself and does not give a damn. But he does like the whole like Joe Dirt like hair flip as he walks out the door. So like, his mullet's just like waving in the breeze as he walks out.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
As Burt gets to the doorway, he just stops and he goes, "Vogue." And he starts voguing as he leaves.
What? Okay. Oh, okay. Now, remind me, like, are you actually tapping into, like, supernatural ability here, or what?
Oh, no. He's just tapping into his fabulousness.
Which, okay, like the magazine pose? Okay, got it.
Yes. Like, literally, he's doing the Madonna Vogue.
Okay, because
Vogue. That's all. He's just voguing.
Okay. So...
Earl's probably like, "God damn it, keep it moving, Burt."
Never. I need all eyes on me at all times.
Okay, so they're waiting out. They're waiting outside, and yeah, over the next couple minutes, they go through everything everything else included after he's calmed everyone down, and then the bell rings and everyone is up and leaving and everything, and of course I think Sable heads straight for the door because she's like, "Oh well, Earl went that way, so obviously I'm going that way." She's beelining, and when this happens, as they get up, Helen is there with Penny, and they're kind of in a rush, and she sort of bumps into her, and Helen's books and papers just fall, and you can see immediately she turns to Penny with this like really angry look on her face, and she starts to lay into her. She's like, "You're so clumsy. You helped me. I had this. You dropped it. That was your fault. Your fault." And you can see Penny is just shrinking into herself. She is not defending herself at all. She's not even opening her mouth. Does Greta have any sort of reaction to this or not?
I feel like there's a sound of rolling wheels, and Greta just skateboards up and picks up the books, and she just coughs slightly, and she just looks at
Helen
and just stares her down, holding the books out to her menacingly.
And she takes them, but she's still like, it's like, "Oh, she's invading my space." She's like, "So, what do you want?"
And she just kind of looks at her and goes, "You're going to be about 5 minutes late to class by this point. You wasted."
Oh God.
And okay, I think this might actually constitute a roll.
It is.
because what you're trying to do here, you're trying to shut her down, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, make the roll.
All right, this will be fun because I have a negative in.
And
wow, okay, that is a 10.
These honest people.
Damn!
Nice! Oh, okay. I won't even... I mean, just for fun, I am going to roll for her, just to see. And I am definitely not, getting a pair of dice right now, because I didn't remember to do that or anything. Let's see. Sorry, guys, it's going to take a second here.
Well, what's amazing is I have a -1 cold.
Yep. And you still managed to 10. That's fairly cool.
Somehow news of all this about what's happening with Helen gets to Burt, and Burt just pokes his head into the classroom at them and goes, "This is why you suck, Helen."
Ooh. She's already being...
I think Earl would kind of backtrack as well and be like, "Yeah, Helen, you fucking suck."
Wow. She's If she had any sway whatsoever, she is rapidly losing it. Because she's already, I mean, I'm not gonna compound the shutdown. She's already been shut down entirely by this, unless she can somehow match it, which I doubt. But let's see. But let me roll to see if by some miracle she manages to at least match. Because I think Greta's going for the strong, silent, I am not afraid of you in the least sort of look. Oh yeah, that's a 5. Oof.
Once again, this is why you suck, Helen.
Yep. And
Yeah.
and on a hold on, let me look, because I believe there's an extra something that you get on a 10 or higher to shut someone down. Yes. So now, Greta, you have the choice. You can give them a condition. They lose a string against you. If they held no string on you, then gain a string on them. Or, the others are 7 to 9. So, yes, you can either give them a condition. They lose a string on you if they had any, but she didn't, I don't think. Or gain a string against them. So, which one do you want?
I want to give her a condition, and I have an evil plan.
Oh no.
Oh, and what condition do you want to lay on her?
Okay, I'm going to say the condition, but it's going to sound wrong. But I have an explanation for this.
Okay.
Okay. I love things that start that way.
Soiled.
Oh, okay. All right. Narratively, how does this go down exactly?
I feel like Greta hands back the books forcibly, and it causes her to step back, and she bumps into a desk where someone's left behind a can of soda.
Oh!
And it spills all over her backside.
Oh!
Yes!
Wow.
It's soiled in that she looks like she soiled herself, but it's just cola stains.
Wow. Yep. She,
Damn.
I think she's silent for a moment, and then realizes what happened, and then she just looks down very slowly, like, and runs out of the room. She's like, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. My fashion is ruined. I'm gone. And so then Greta and Penny are still there, and Penny turns to you, Greta, and she just very, very quietly, very, very quietly and very, very softly goes, "Oh, thanks for that."
I think Greta just gives the smallest of smiles and nods before picking up her skateboard and heading out. I think it's just, Greta doesn't express herself much, but I think just from Penny knowing her from a kid, she picks up on it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, then you see, Penny gathers her stuff, and Sasha has also headed for the door. She wanted to stay, of course, for the drama that she just saw play out, but now she's heading out the door. And I'm wondering, did Earl or Burt have any reaction after seeing Helen they hear the scream, and then she just bolts out past them?
Oh, Burt looks at Earl and just goes, "And I'm full." Ah. Just seeing Helen lose like that is just nourishment to me.
I think Earl's like, yeah, fucking run off, Helen. Ain't nobody got no time for your bullshit.
And I think lurking behind the two of you or slightly down the hall is Sable, and she's just heard Earl say this, and very quietly to herself, "Man, that is so wise. That is so deep."
She's so thirsty.
That is so deep. And
I think Earl kind of catches her looking at him out of the corner of his eye, kind of gives her hair flip, and it's like, I see you,
and yeah, but she's got so much makeup on, you can't really tell, but you could she's full on blushing, I think, under the whole thing, but she's covered in makeup, so it's hard to see. And yeah, so the hall is filling with people, and everything is moving on now. And after receiving this text about the party, what does everyone think about this party? Are they gonna go? Are they gonna stay away? What's gonna happen?
So I definitely think Earl is going.
Okay.
Obviously, he did get up and yell about it in the middle of the classroom.
Yes, he did. He did. I was assuming he at least was going. Yes.
So, Earl's going because there's always deals to be made. And, Earl lives for the deal. Because, he's the child devil. So.
Okay. All right. So he's going. What about, I'm guessing Burt is going, if for no other reason than to humiliate Helen even more.
Oh, I'm going to humiliate Helen by hijacking her party.
Oh, okay. All right.
And my crew needs some new members, so I'm looking to gain some.
You're gonna filch her posse members. Ooh, all right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hijacking Helen's party. So yeah,
got it. What about? I'm guessing that Greta wants to go, if nothing else, to silently somewhat protect Penny, who is like obligated by social hierarchy to go.
Yeah, and to watch the party. She may not actually go into the party, depending on if parts of it is outside. She may just go to the house and climb to the roof and watch it.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, we're just gonna leave that there for right now. We'll go ahead to the party in just a minute. But I think one thing that everyone. Roll me for. I'm trying to think. What would be a good stat for? Or actually, no, there is no stat for this. I can just tell you. Roll me just a general. Like, I know this is not a move, but just roll your 2d6s, everybody, because I want to see if you notice anything.
All right, I am gonna roll some physical dice this time.
Holy shit, that's a 12 on the dice.
Oh, all right.
And what are we using for this? Hot, cold, volatile, dark?
I think for this, actually, this would classify as a dark, I think.
So that's a 13.
Whoa.
Because I have a 1 dark.
All right. You got a 13.
I rolled a 2.
A 2. All right.
Wait. Oh, well, I rolled double ones.
Ooh.
And I have a -1 in dark, so I have a 1.
Okay, so we've got 2 epic fails and a huge success. All right.
Yep.
So yeah. I'm for the 2 failures. And that was Greta and Burt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna pretty much combine your 2 fails. I think is that Greta is on the way out of the room as well, but Burt is already out there, and in this rush of people. There's a lot of people, and she's being pushed one way, and he's being pushed another way, and then all of a sudden, like, you have this split second of, oh no, and then boom, both of you just it's like cartoon head smash. Like, you hit and you fall very hard.
Ouchie.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? Each of you take 1 point of harm.
Oh boy.
I blame Helen for this.
You blame Helen for everything, I'm sure.
It's all Helen's fault.
This was Helen. Damn you, Helen.
Yeah. Is there any sort of interaction here, or is it just pretend it never happened and get up?
Oh, what immediately happens is my three little minions immediately go to picking me up, dusting me off, and they do the same for Greta.
Fixing your hair, all that.
Yep, and they do the same for Greta.
Okay, all right. And then
I think Earl would like to help.
Oh, okay.
Greta, if possible, just because he got that, sick ass roll.
All right. So he, I like to think, narratively, the entourage is helping them both, and then Earl just kind of sidles up, and the entourage, whoever the entourage member is who was helping Greta, just kind of stumbles back because he's. I think he's just projecting sort of an aura of, my personal space. Don't violate this, and so that he sort of.
Oh,
so
yeah, I think it was Riff Raff that was helping Greta at first, but then the minute Earl comes up, all Riff Raff can do is just go, "My word, that mullet, it's magnificent."
All right,
and he's lost staring at his mullet.
all right, yeah. He just stumbles back. Got it. And I think as they go on, Greta's going to go. They're all going for different reasons. Okay. But I think that as the day goes on and everything, you, Earl, got a very high roll. So the reason for that notice check is as the flow is going down the hall to all their other classes, you see someone. You don't know, you can't tell who it is. You can't tell who it is. They're wearing this kind of nondescript black hoodie and gloves, and kind of their back is to you, and they're going up the hallway. But you can tell that they're not moving at the same pace as all the others. Everyone else is rushing back and forth, trying to beat the bell, and this guy or girl or whoever is kind of shuffling, stumping their way up the hall, and that strikes you as a little bit odd, because it doesn't match with everything else.
So I think with that being said, I think Earl's gonna kind of look at Greta and look at Burt and kind of just be like, I'll be right back. I gotta go look at something. There's somebody going down the damn hall, and something about it just don't sit right with Earl. Yeah, y'all can come if you want, but I gotta go take a look at whatever this is. And Earl's gonna start heading towards this person because, black gloves and, the whole outfit. Just Earl's been around a lot longer than it looks, and Earl ain't no dummy. So Earl's taking a look.
All right. Okay.
I think at mention of something not looking right, Greta kind of silently follows after.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
nothing like Markiplier's Yander simulator animation.
Oh God.
Okay.
But she is following at a distance.
Okay, and what about Burt? I doubt he can do this in any subtle sort of way at all, because he has a crew that follows him around all the time unless otherwise told, and he himself is a walking fashion disaster. So, does he...
Burt refuses to walk. He is laying down in the middle. The riffraff is holding his head, Magenta's holding his legs, and Columbia is tap dancing next to him, and he's just following. Yes, lead me the way.
Okay. Okay. All right. And what you see is, as you go on, this person, they're heading towards the restroom, and then they enter the guys' side restroom, and the door closes. Do you follow them in?
Hell yeah, I'm following them in.
All right.
Earl ain't no scaredy cat.
Okay.
I mean, he knows he ain't the toughest of the bunch, but we devils tend to be proud folk.
And then I think trailing behind Burt and his entourage is also Sasha, because she's like, oh, he's so, she's not even caring about class at this point. She's like, this is the coolest thing to happen all day. This is what's going on. So then he enters, and Earl follows him. Does Greta follow him, ignoring the sign?
No, Greta has a different way to follow, because she remembers both these bathrooms have a window to the outside.
Uh-huh.
She's going to go through the window. All right. Okay.
Yeah, she's going to go through the women's restroom and try to scramble over to look in through the other window. Again, not like a Yander simulator character, but I guess that not intending for this character to come off like a creepy Yander, murder Yander, but it's happening.
Shit happens.
Okay, all right. And does Burt attempt to follow him in while being carried by his entourage, or not?
Of course he does. Burt just says, fuck these dolls and their stupid rules. We go where we want.
Oh, all right. And they take your word as law, so they're totally in on it, right? And so you get inside and you're looking around, and Earl, I think, hears in one of the stalls, he's hearing this sound, but it doesn't, he's not sure what it is. It sounds very much like a growly sort of kind of a sort of a whimper, but also like a really deep bass level in it. And I don't think any of you have ever heard a sound like this before. You don't know what it is.
I think Earl is just gonna be like, hey, I don't know who you is, and I don't really know what's going on, but my name's Earl, and is there anything we can do to help? I can provide particular services, if you will, either intangible or physical, otherwise.
Okay.
But we have to talk first.
Okay. You've managed to identify the stall from which this is coming, and the door is not locked. The door is closed but not locked. Are you going to try to open the door?
I think Earl's gonna use his foot to gently push open the door and just keeping an eye forward, because again, we don't know what this thing is, and
Yeah, you push the door open, and you and Earl and maybe even Earl and Entourage and maybe Burt from a different angle, since he's still being
Carried.
arm throned, is they see this person kind of hunched over with their back towards them, and they're making this sort of odd sound, and then as they're sort of shaking their head back and forth. Do you try to actually like catch them by the shoulder or anything, or wait for them to turn around, or?
Sheesh, Poppers. I think Wesley is going to have his hands full with Earl, Greta, and Burt. And what are they going to find in that bathroom? Well, you're going to have to wait until the next episode to find out. And if you enjoyed this episode, remember to leave us a review and share us with your friends. It really helps us in the long end. Follow us on Twitter at Dungeons & Pop. And if you would like to talk with the cast, join the Dungeons & Pop Discord social channel. And who knows, you might find yourself in our next game, because we are out to play with everyone. So, till the next one, Poppers.